今日もお疲れ様でした。英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
Nagoya High Public Prosecutor's Office announced an internal investigation into Shoji Maekawa's retrial acquittal for a 1986 Fukui murder. Maekawa, 60, had served time before being declared innocent. The investigation will involve interviewing prosecutors from his trial, with a report to be released. This comes amid calls from some lawmakers to review the retrial system.
A 44-year-old man has been arrested in Narashino City, Chiba Prefecture, in connection with an attack on a high school student in Fusa City, Tokyo. The incident occurred on April 29th, where the student was reportedly struck with a hammer-like object. The suspect, who had fled, was apprehended by the Metropolitan Police Department on May 4th on suspicion of attempted murder.
In Asahikawa, Hokkaido, a 33-year-old Asahiyama Zoo employee was arrested for allegedly mutilating his wife's body in the zoo's incinerator. Police investigations revealed that the wife had not filed any complaints or consultations with the police regarding her husband prior to the incident. The details of the employee's statements are currently under investigation.
Japan's government and central bank intervened in the dollar-yen market on April 30th, causing the dollar to drop over 5 yen. Now, focus shifts to potential additional interventions during Japan's Golden Week. A key question is whether the intervention was unilateral or coordinated with the U.S., which could significantly influence market perception. Skepticism remains about the lasting impact.
May 1st marks 70 years since Minamata disease was officially recognized. A memorial service for victims was held in Minamata City, Kumamoto Prefecture. Despite certifications and settlements, victims continue to seek compensation. The full extent of the disease caused by Chiso Corporation's mercury discharge remains unclear, and unresolved issues persist among those affected.
Popular model and TV personality Nicole Fujita has announced the birth of her first child. Further details regarding the birth, such as the baby's gender or exact date, were not immediately available in the initial report. Fans and media outlets are sending their congratulations to Fujita and her family on this joyous occasion.
A new statue by the elusive artist Banksy has appeared in central London, United Kingdom. The artwork features a suited figure whose face is obscured by a flag they hold, leading many to interpret it as a satire on blind patriotism. Banksy is widely known for his sharp social commentary through art.
State-owned land in Toyonaka City, Osaka, previously involved in the Moritomo Gekuen scandal, will now be sold through a public competitive bidding process. The Osaka Civil Aviation Bureau announced on May 1st that a social welfare corporation, which had sought to purchase the land, failed to meet the required criteria during the screening process.
Prime Minister Takaichi departed from Haneda Airport on the afternoon of May 1 for official visits to Vietnam and Australia. Prior to her departure, she stated that the purpose of her trip is to confirm cooperation with both nations. Discussions will focus on ensuring stable energy supplies and strengthening resilient supply chains for crucial materials.
The ongoing situation in Iran is causing difficulties in procuring stable packaging materials, leading some companies to suspend sales of certain products. Food manufacturer Mitsukan, for example, announced it would halt sales of some natto items starting May 1st. This trend is also affecting refrigerated gyoza, indicating broader impacts on the food supply chain.
次は社会のニュースです。
Severe weather is forecast for Golden Week. From May 3rd to 4th, strong rain and wind will hit nationwide, with a risk of heavy rain warnings from Kyushu to Tokai. On May 2nd, while weather improves in Kyushu to Kanto, strong winds are still possible in Tohoku and Hokkaido.
On May 1st, a memorial service was held in Minamata City, Kumamoto, marking 70 years since Minamata disease was confirmed. About 780 people, including patients, prayed for the victims. The disease was caused by Chiso Corporation discharging organic mercury wastewater into the sea, affecting regions from Kumamoto to Kagoshima.
The Nagoya High Public Prosecutor's Office will conduct an internal investigation, announced May 1st, after Akiji Maekawa, 60, was acquitted in a retrial for the 196 Fukui murder case. Prosecutors involved in his trial will be interviewed. The findings will be publicly reported, prompted by calls to review the retrial system.
A 44-year-old suspect, previously at large, was arrested on May 1st in Chiba Prefecture. He is accused of attempted murder after a high school student in Fusa City, Tokyo, was attacked with a hammer-like object on April 29th. The Metropolitan Police Department made the arrest.
A 33-year-old旭山Zoo employee in Hokkaido was arrested for allegedly mutilating his wife's body in a zoo incinerator. Police confirmed that the wife had not reported any concerns about her husband to them prior to the incident.
Shinya Ito, a 49-year-old first lieutenant and conductor for the MSDF Tokyo Band, was arrested on April 28 in Shinjuku, Tokyo. He was allegedly found with about 0.8 grams of stimulants. The Maritime Self-Defense Force stated they take the matter seriously and will respond strictly and appropriately.
3 additional deaths in Ishikawa Prefecture following the Noto Peninsula earthquake have been certified as disaster-related. This raises the total number of disaster-related deaths to 504, including direct deaths. The overall death toll from the Noto Peninsula earthquake has now reached 732.
The Osaka Civil Aviation Bureau announced on May 1st that a social welfare corporation failed to meet requirements to purchase state-owned land linked to the Moritomo Gakuen issue. This land in Toyonaka City, Osaka, was once sold cheaply to Moritomo Gakuen. It will now be offered for sale through general competitive bidding.
The Komeito faction of Tokyo's Ota Ward Assembly announced on May 1st that Councilmember Hiroyuki Matsumoto, 67, embezzled about 6.8 million yen in political activity funds. Matsumoto admitted to creating false receipts, stating the money was used for dining. He has submitted his resignation as a council member, effective April 30th.
Osaka City has filed a fraud complaint against Kizuna Holdings, HD, and 5 former representatives. They are accused of defrauding the city of approximately 7.9 billion yen in disability employment support grants. Osaka City previously found 4 Kizuna HD facilities illegally over-received funds and revoked their operating permits.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
The Japanese yen has seen a sudden surge, reaching the 155 yen level against the dollar at one point. This rapid movement in the currency market is being closely watched by economists and traders. Further details on the factors influencing this sharp rise are anticipated.
Prime Minister Takakichi departed from Haneda Airport on the afternoon of May 1st. She is traveling to Vietnam and Australia. During her visit, the Prime Minister aims to confirm cooperation with both nations. Key discussion points will include ensuring a stable energy supply and strengthening the supply chains for important materials.
The Japan Housing Finance Agency announced new rates for flat 35 long-term housing loans on May 1st. The minimum interest rate for repayment periods of 21 to 35 years has reached 2.71% for May. This marks a new record high since the current system was introduced in October 2017, reflecting an upward trend in fixed-rate mortgages.
Former Prime Minister Kishida, currently in the Philippines, held talks with President Marcos. They reached an agreement to strengthen cooperation in the energy sector. This move aims to enhance the resilience of Asia's energy supply, especially in light of the current situation in the Middle East. The discussions focused on regional stability.
MetLife Life Insurance has announced that employees at 36 agencies illegally took 2,476 pieces of internal information. This represents the largest data breach in the life insurance sector. The company stated this was inappropriate, violating unfair competition laws. MetLife received an investigation order from the Financial Services Agency in December 2025 and has now reported its findings to authorities.
The government began its second release of national oil reserves on May 1st. This action follows the de facto blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Approximately 20 days' worth of domestic consumption will be released from 10 storage bases. The Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry reported that the selling price for this oil is over 40% higher than the first release in March.
Mizuho Bank announced a temporary service suspension for large-scale system maintenance. From 10 p.m. on May 2nd until 5:30 p.m. on May 3rd, customers will be unable to use ATMs or internet banking services. This essential system update will affect various banking operations, so users are advised to plan their transactions accordingly.
Mizkan announced on May 1st that it will increase prices for its natto products by 6 to 20% starting June 1st. The price hike is due to increased soybean procurement costs. Additionally, the escalating Middle East situation has led to higher naphtha prices, a key ingredient for natto packaging. Some products were discontinued on May 1st.
Amid global concerns about fertilizer supply, Agriculture Minister Suzuki met with executives from a Malaysian state-owned company. Japan imports most of its fertilizer-grade urea from Malaysia. They reached an agreement to extend the contract period for urea procurement. This aims to secure a stable supply, especially given the current situation in Iran affecting global markets.
Nissan announced on May 1st it is canceling its electric vehicle production plan at its Mississippi plant in the U.S. This decision comes as the market environment for EVs has worsened under the Trump administration, with tax credits being abolished. The plan was to produce 2 EV models at the Canton plant, a project initially announced in 2022.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Tennis star Kei Nishikori, 36, announced his retirement from professional tennis at the end of this season via social media. He stated he can proudly say he gave it his all. Nishikori reached the U.S. Open final in 2014 and achieved a career-high world ranking of 4th. He also won a bronze medal at the 2016 Rio Olympics.
All 4 boxers for the double world title fights at Tokyo Dome passed their weigh-ins. Unified champion Naoya Inoue and challenger Junto Nakatani, along with Takuma Inoue and Kazuto Ioka, cleared their weights. The highly anticipated May 2nd event expects a record 55,000 spectators, highlighting its significance in Japanese boxing.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino confirmed Iran's participation in the upcoming World Cup across North America. At the FIFA General Assembly in Vancouver on April 30th, he stated, "Iran will participate. Of course, they will play in the United States. This confirms their involvement in the international tournament."
The Japan Basketball Association named 53 candidates for the men's national team's summer activities. NBA players Rui Hachimura of the Lakers and Yuki Kawamura of the Bulls are included. Hachimura's return is notable after his post-Paris Olympics absence. These candidates will prepare for the FIBA World Cup 2027 Asian qualifiers.
Ahead of the Summer Grand Sumo Tournament, starting May 10th, Ozeki Kirishima displayed smooth preparation during a public practice session. Having returned to the ozeki rank, he trained vigorously against Yokozuna and other ozeki wrestlers. This performance suggests he is well prepared for the upcoming tournament.
Professional figure skater Shoma Uno, 28, has joined the professional esports team VAR-REL announced on May 1st. Uno will participate in tournaments and events alongside his skating career. A known game enthusiast, he will appear at EVO Japan 2026, aiming to make his passion a profession.
The Yomiuri Giants announced a significant roster change, swapping 6 players. Outfielders Masaya Hagio and Takei Minagawa, along with pitcher Ryuji Kitara, were removed from the active roster. In their place, outfielder Reito Nakayama, Rakuto Wakabayashi, and pitcher Yuhei Takanashi were registered.
Blue Jays infielder Kazuma Okamoto made a critical error in the 8th inning against the Twins on April 30th. A miscommunicated pop-up resulted in an errant throw and 2 runs. The local broadcaster criticized his play, stating, "I don't understand why Okamoto didn't catch it." Okamoto also went hitless, contributing to the team's 7-1 loss.
SoftBank Hawks pitcher Kazuki Sugiyama fractured his hand by punching the dugout after a poor game. Despite this, the team will not impose disciplinary action. Pitching coach Karano stated Sugiyama will not be sent to the minors for punishment. Sugiyama is expected to return to live games on May 1st, aiming for a swift return to the first team.
Shunichi Kawai, president of the Japan Volleyball Association, announced on Instagram May 1st that he has been hospitalized for gallstone surgery. He explained the pain worsened, necessitating the operation. Kawai will take about a 1-week rest, missing upcoming events like the SV League and beach volleyball tournaments.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
In southern Australia, a small plane crashed into a hangar on April 29th. Local media reported that 2 people died in the accident, including a Japanese trainee pilot who was flying. 10 other individuals sustained serious or minor injuries. This tragic event has been widely reported.
Iran's supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, made a statement on April 30th. He stressed the goal of realizing a glorious future without America in the Gulf region. This highlights Iran's firm and unyielding stance regarding the Strait of Hormuz.
On April 30th, U.S. President Trump declared that a maritime blockade against Iran has very great power. He plans to pressure Iran into an agreement through economic tightening. Concurrently, Iran's supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei affirmed that Iran will not abandon its nuclear development efforts.
On April 30th, President Trump reportedly received a briefing on new military plans concerning Iran. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Central Command commander provided the details. This action aims to pressure Iran, break the current stalemate, and encourage a more flexible stance on nuclear issues.
The anonymous artist Banksy has unveiled a new artwork. The piece depicts a statue of a person holding a flag. Specific details regarding the location or the precise message conveyed by this latest creation were not included in the report.
Myanmar's democratic leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, aged 80, has received another reduction in her prison sentence. Her legal team announced this development on April 30th. This marks the second time her sentence has been shortened within the last 2 weeks.
New footage has been released regarding the attempted assassination of U.S. President Trump. The video shows the suspect quickly bypassing security measures. Additionally, the suspect was seen chatting with hotel staff the day before the incident, according to the newly released visuals.
President Trump announced the removal of tariffs and regulations on imported whiskey. He stated this action was taken to honor the UK's King Charles and Queen, who were on a state visit to the United States at the time.
At the NPT Review Conference on April 30th, over 100 countries, including Japan, issued a joint statement. It emphasized the vital role of youth as heirs and shapers of nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. The statement also urged the continuation of sharing experiences from atomic bomb survivors as they age.
On April 29th, China submitted a document to the NPT Review Conference asserting that Japan is exploring nuclear weapons possession. Japan immediately refuted this claim. Japan suggested China's move was to deflect criticism from its own rapid nuclear expansion and lack of transparency.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Actress Honoka Yahagi, 29, announced her marriage on Instagram on May 1st. She shared a photo in a wedding dress, stating her desire to cherish each day peacefully. Yahagi is known for her roles in dramas such as Mischievous Kiss, Love in Tokyo. Her fans celebrate this happy news.
Professional figure skater Shoma Uno, 28, announced on May 1st his surprise entry into an esports team. He is joining VAR EL, operated by Cellorb. Uno plans to pursue a two-way career in both skating and gaming, stating his intention to act as a proper gamer.
The 47th Shogi JT Professional Tournament will open on June 27th in Sendai. 12 top shogi players, including six-crown holder Sota Fuji, 23, aiming for his fourth JT Cup victory, will compete. Fuji will enter from the second round. The final match is scheduled for November 29th alongside a children's tournament.
The Japan Shogi Association's committee released its final report on female shogi players. It proposes allowing schedule changes or entry into the next season's Challenger tournament for players due to pregnancy or childbirth. This follows a request from five-crown holder Kana Fukuma. The association will now consider these recommendations to formulate new rules, aiming for better support.
Minamata disease was officially confirmed 70 years ago on May 1st. A memorial service for victims will be held in Minamata City, Kumamoto Prefecture. Applications from individuals seeking patient certification and lawsuits demanding compensation from the government are still ongoing. The struggle for recognition and justice continues for those affected by this tragic environmental illness.
To counter the problem of over-the-counter drug overdoses, especially among young people, a revised Pharmaceutical and Medical Device Act took effect on May 1st. This amendment tightens regulations on the sale of cold medicines and other drugs containing specific ingredients. The goal is to prevent misuse and protect public health.
Major banks have announced an increase in fixed-rate housing loan interest rates, effective from May. This decision comes amid rising long-term interest rates in the market. The upward trend in fixed-rate home loans continues, potentially impacting prospective homebuyers. This adjustment reflects the broader economic environment.
The international jury for the Venice Biennale Art Exhibition resigned on April 30th. They had excluded Russian and Israeli artists' works from awards, citing human rights, causing pre-opening confusion. Organizers postponed the award ceremony and will introduce a visitor-selected award. This new award is expected to include artists from Russia and Israel.
The Agency for Cultural Affairs announced it has begun storing about 70,000 items, including original drawings by manga artist Tetsuya Chiba, 87. These materials, from works like Ashita no Jo, will be part of the future Media Arts National Center. Chiba commented that each frame contains the struggles and life from his creation period.
Kodansha announced on April 29th the suspension of sales for Haikiji Jose's historical novel Shoni. The author revealed that a real living expert was depicted dying of COVID-19 in the novel without permission, leading to protests. The author stated he used the real name out of respect.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。